Okay, so now I'm going to go over the Eco Justice Task Force proposal. So the reality is with how all encompassing this climate emergency is, it's we're not going to do our due diligence by passing a couple motions or proposals here or there. It's going to take a sustained effort and because we need that sustained effort, we strongly believe that we need some sort of organization, task force, uh, between MFT and the district to get moving on this. So, part of that is understanding that education is going to play a decisive role in mitigating the damage done by environmental devastation. And so we propose that by July 2024, the district create an eco justice task force to guide the district in responding to the ecological emergency we are living in. So this task force would obviously encompass political education and resources for teachers and educators to address these issues in their curriculum or just through work in their schools. Also, a big part of this would be the creation of a climate resiliency hub where the hubs would work with community, city, and state organizations to provide knowledge around extreme weather preparedness, and help sites residents to use sites so we can respond to environmental related emergencies. So, for example, hubs would be able to provide phone electrical charging. Would be able to provide air conditioning during heat waves, organize welfare checks on vulnerable neighbors, or deliver other services. Another part of this is the desire for the district to create roles for there to be sustainability outdoor education mentors for the district to support educators in connecting to resources and community programs to implement climate action at their sites. And this is not the limitation. These are not the all encompassing what the Eco Justice Task Force would focus on. There's a lot of other initiatives under that we're proposing.
Climate change isn't something that's coming to us. It's here now. And we think it's very important to take as serious kind of aggressive targets for carbon neutral status for our buildings as quickly as possible. The longer we wait, the worse the situation becomes. We think that we set a target date of 2030 to get all of our buildings to be 75% carbon neutral. It's not only aggressive enough, it's also attainable. Not only for our city, which has declared that this is a value of Minneapolis's, but also because there is plenty of funding at the state and national level in order to do this. This is just a snapshot of some of the grants that are available. This has been put together by the Blue Green Alliance, and it's a collection of all the sorts of grants that are available at the national level that public institutions like our school system can apply for and apply to retrofitting and renovating our buildings to not only be energy efficient, but also to be carbon neutral and use less energy that's created from fossil fuels and more from renewable sources like solar. This is just a snapshot. One of the biggest funding sources is more recent with the Inflation Reduction Act. And
Well,
the
a lot of
sooner we
these,
move on that, right, the
yeah,
better.
and a lot of these programs actually do come from the Inflation Reduction Act. So just making it clear, this is not something making these changes is not expected to come out of our own pockets here. There is money at the state and federal level available, and something a task force can do is to actually have someone designated to apply for these funds and push for more funding.
The district may say this is going to cost us money, and that's partially true. We would have to pay for a staff person to go through all these different applications and apply and actually get the money for the district. But the money spent is far outweighed by the amount of money we would get in return to renovate our buildings, which is something they need anyway.
So the reality is that climate change is here now, and the more we delay action, the worse it's going to be for all of us, and especially more vulnerable populations. So this is not something we should delay at. We as union members have particular power to bring to this issue, and a union UTLA. They are a shining example of what can be done when you center climate justice and improvements in say salary for working people. So they won significant building retrofits as well as 20% salary increase in their last negotiation cycle. So contract cycle. So this is not benefits versus social justice, ecological justice issue. We can win all of these things together. And in fact, when we work in coordination with other community partners that care about these issues, they are going to join us for the fights that impact us as workers. We are stronger when we are creating ties of solidarity that that yeah, that when we create ties of solidarity, that we can come together and address these societal issues.
Yeah, the time is now. We have the power and the ear and respect of the city in general. Our strike in 2022 helped bring labor back into the spotlight in this city, and we're respected by a lot of labor unions and people throughout our city and state. Um, we can help make our struggle something that's intersectional and raises the bar for climate justice for everyone in the city. And we could help inspire, as we have done already, other unions to take these kind of same action and push the people in power in our city and state and our nation to do the right thing when it comes to climate change, because we know they will not do it unless they are pushed to do so. The time is now, not only for ourselves, but for our kids. If we really care for our kids and their future, we need to elevate these bargaining demands to a high priority.
Well, thank you so much for your time. And obviously, you know where we're at. If you have any thoughts, concerns, questions, we'd love to talk more with anybody, any member of the union around exciting stuff we're putting forward.